Name's Ed Owie with Pickups Limited, Orange County. I'm the Vice President. And today we're at John Forest Race Station for the holiday show. December the 4th, I believe it is, right?
December 4th.
Yeah,
and chips for kids. Everybody brought an unwrapped toy today and enjoying the car show. And just want to talk a little bit about Pickups Limited, Orange County. As was mentioned to Davis and William, the club's been around since 1968. Most of the members here have been around since 2005, and one of the things we're trying to do is preserve the history of the club. Since most of the members here are new, probably got a handful or less guys that have been around since the heydays of the club, and we've been trying to preserve some of the history. And what I'm talking about is electronically, so that anybody that's out there used to be in the club who will meet all the time. They may have been in the club during the 70s, 80s, even in the beginning in the late 60s. They've lost contact with people. So if you go to pickupslimited.com, there's a bunch of information up there on the club currently, and we'll have another page up there for the historical archiving of all the history of the club that we've been working on. But just want to introduce a couple of the members here. Here's Norm.
How you doing, Norm?
I'm doing fine.
All right.
Hey, thanks for showing up today.
What kind of vehicle you got?
I got a 52 F1. The only one of the series in the F100 club.
Yep. And that's another thing, real quickly, is the club was originally 53 to 56, and in order to own a 1953 to 56, it takes a lot of money nowadays.
Right.
Hard to find stuff.
We had a discussion about that.
Yeah. So we've actually changed the Constitution and bylaws so that our 6 chapters can make their own decision as far as what years they want to have in, to help bring in some more membership, because it was dwindling down. So we go from 48 to 1966 to get the later model trucks in. So our chapter, the Orange County chapter, chose to do 48 to 56. But there are other chapters that take all the way up to 66 from 48, and they've increased their membership.
Sure.
So you got truck guys coming in that love the hobby, love to work on stuff. They wish they had something like this. Or maybe they got a 65, F100. There's nothing wrong with them, but there's more plentiful of those out there. Parts will be easier to get, cost-wise too, a little bit easier to fix up. Cheaper. There you go.
Cheap. We like cheap. We like
exactly.
cheap.
So, but most of the guys here, we do have the 53 to 56. Norm's got the 52. He was one of our first, I think, members that joined after we opened up the years.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And big car enthusiast. He's got a 40 Ford also, right?
A 47.
47 coupe. So, he's out and about all the time. We have Dan here. We go, Dan, the music man.
How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing okay.
All right.
He's got the panel here, a 55 panel.
Yeah, well.
You don't want to call it a wagon. It's a panel.
Ooh, right. We're not going to call that a wagon. No. No.
That's Stars and Stripes, though.
Yeah.
And then we have Jerry over here, sitting over here.
How you doing, Jerry?
He's got a 56. There's a white Pearl down next to my 56 down there, the red one. We'll probably walk down a little bit later and look at it. And then Rich's truck. This is Rich's truck here. It's a 56. Fully blown, Pro built by Pro Design out in Orange County. And it's got a 514 crate motor in it. Hauls ass with the 9-inch rear end, and I think there's 22s in the back and 20s in the front, I believe. But if you look at his truck, it's got a lot of the original type equipment. It's got the round radio in the dashboard, which is very rare. This is a custom cab. So in the 56s, they had the first year they came out with a big window, and this one here is a small window. But they had different versions of the 56s, being custom cab and non-custom cab. If you notice his instrument panel, it's all original, but yet it was modified to go 120, and it's all electronic. So he's got some of the original pieces in here, but yet updated.
Sure.
Yeah. And you take a look at his engine.
Sure.
So you got the double pumper on there, the Holly, the 514 crate. It's a pretty awesome sounding truck. I'll see if I can get him started up for you.
What kind of ignition box is that?
I'm not really sure. I'd have to get him over.
Okay.
Looks like it's been custom painted. Yeah.
So this is Rich Miller here. Go ahead and answer some questions about your engine, Rich.
Well, this is a crate motor out of Ford. It's a 514-inch big block Ford. Puts out somewhere around about 6 to 650 horsepower, and it runs on race fuel. Because the engine was actually set up for racing. It wasn't set up for running on the street. So the valves and everything are all set up for leaded fuel. So to run a leaded fuel, the only kind of leaded fuel you can get is race fuel. And I'm not supposed to be running that kind of stuff on the highway, but it's fun.
It's your highway, right?
It's my highway. I pay for it. I pay for taxes on it, so I drive how I want on it. But no, it's any way you're going to go, if you're going to put a new motor in anything like this, just get yourself a crate motor, because the crate motors, they're a done deal. You got a 2-year warranty on them, and Ford backed this thing with that kind of horsepower. They backed it for 2 years. So it's been fun. I've enjoyed this truck. It's been done 8 years now.
But this truck's got an interesting history because it hasn't always looked like this.
No.
Where'd you get the truck from, Rich?
I bought this truck back in 1966. It had a 6-cylinder, 3 on the tree. It was a work truck. I used it for, I bought it with a 6-cylinder. I took it home, pulled the engine out, tranny out, sold the tranny and engine for more than what I bought the truck for. Dropped a 320, built 327 in it with a 4-speed hydro. Drove it that way for a long time, and then finally we decided to, my wife said we needed to get it fixed, so it was kind of getting in disarray.
Now, Richard's wife is the wife every guy needs.
I was just going to say, he's got like the good wife that says, let's get this fixed.
Yeah, because she said you need to get fixed or get rid of it or do something with it, because it's just a piece of junk sitting here. Well, this is what turned out to be when I finally finished it up 2.5 years later and cleaned out everything I had.
But his other collection, hot rod collection. Okay, if you will.
What else you got?
What else you got there, Rich?
Well, I've got a 23 T-bucket with a blown 350 Chevy. I've got a 68 California Special Mustang that I bought brand new. A 68, I ordered it special. Got a 390 high performance engine in it. Air conditioned factory air and everything on it. And I have a little 36 Ford pickup. And I have a 54 F100 with a 289.
Jesus.
And everything that I drive that a lot.
And where's your warehouse?
And then this one I have fun with. This is my little baby here. It's been a lot of fun. It's been done now right at a little over 8 years. And this is the 9th John Force show that I've been at, and enjoy it all the time. We can't ask for any kind of better weather. Here we're in December.
We did pretty good.
And we've got a beautiful day.
Did good today.
And it's great. It's the kind of stuff we like to have. But it's got so much work done to this truck that it take a long time to tell you what all's been done to it. They changed everything, and every piece on this thing's been torn apart and rebuilt from ground up. And it only started out to be just the engine and transmission install. And finally, 2.5 years later, I took it home.
That it was deep pockets, a lot of money.
Deep pockets, a lot of money. That's right. Time and money makes our projects work, right?
That's it.
That's right. So this is a what year is this?
A 1955 Ford panel truck. I call it a rare 55 because there are just not very many that survived. They were used for plumbing trucks and everything else you can think of that were hard workers, and when they got used up, they got put away. They were retired. So they're pretty hard to come by. If you can find one with a straight body that's not rotted out, you really got a true find. And this one had a real straight body when I got it.
Where did you get it from?
I bought it from another guy who started as a project truck, and he bought it from another guy who started it as a project truck. I guess I'm the one that, like, you can say it's finished,
You had any offers yet today?
Only from you, Jim.
What do I have
$1.
Nobody would even come up with $2.
Nope, couldn't do it. Nope, I
Stupid.
tried.
Not even a $2 bill, huh?
Not too smart. I got a $2 bill. You know, I'll hang on to it. Take care. Good to see you again.
All right, Jim.
So what's under the hood? What do you got over here?
Well, we've got a 460 cubic dollar. I call it cubic dollar.
Cubic dollar. Hey, I like that. Cubic dollar.
In fact, it says so right on the emblem, cubic dollars.
You know, I didn't even notice that, and I was shooting pictures of it.
That's a 460. She's bored 30 over, but not about 500 horsepower. It's got just custom everything on it. Even the oil filters, custom military style. It's a forever filter, if you will. Take it out, clean it off, dry it out, put it back on.
There you go. It's
Yeah.
going to work every time.
It's the second engine in this one that gives it all the horsepower. It does have two. You can see the other one's right back in there. You see it?
There you go.
Yeah, it's got two motors. It's
Like
got a
that.
virtual motor and a reality motor. Had her painted.
Who painted it?
I kind of wear my patriotism on my sleeve, so
Who painted
Stars
it?
and Stripes was created. I had it painted John's Custom and Performance over in Torrance. They're not around anymore. They went out of business. But it wasn't me that did it. But we had a good time trying to paint it because every time I told him I wanted the flag to be like it was torn apart going down, like it ripped through a flag and tore and went down both sides. That's why it's got the jagged edge on the top. In the rear, it's like it's blowing in the wind. The flag will start to rip and tear apart. So I wanted the shrouds back there. And the shards, he kept turning them into flames. So it took me a long time to finally get it painted the way I wanted it, to where it was just a flag ripping rather than flames. The interior's all done. It's all the same theme, red, white, and blue throughout. It's got an art car transmission behind the motor, Driveline Specialties drive shaft, Curry 9-inch rear end. The drivetrain is completely redone on the whole truck, so it's virtually new anyway. I think I finished it about 2 years ago. So
You actually finished it?
yeah.
I didn't think anybody finished any of these
Oh
trucks.
no, it's done. I knock on wood when I say that because, you know, let's face it, everything needs to be replaced or rebuilt at some point.
True.
You know. The interior is all red, white, and blue.
Wow.
Got a Flaming River steering column, 10 changer CD in it. It's a custom gauge cluster up front. Air conditioning.
Yeah, I
Gotta be
saw
cool.
that. You got to be cool. Your
You
air
gotta be
conditioning and
cool.
your power steering. That's right. You got to make it easy.
Yeah.
So you have all the plumbing equipment in the back, right?
Yeah, right. I have my pillows in the back.
Oh wow.
55 on them. Everybody's always asking what year is it. It's a 55, so I let them know with the pillows.
How often do you take it out?
I drive this all the time. This is a driver. It goes to a lot of shows, and distance means nothing. I'll go to San Diego, I'll go to Morro Bay, wherever the show's at. Get the guys together in the truck club when we go.
That's cool.
So it's not a trailer queen. It gets driven. I'd show you the nicks and the whatever from the road damage, but you're not interested in that. But it does. It gets road damage. You know, you just have to get out the touch-up paint and take care of it.
Beautiful truck.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
It's got little things in it that people don't notice. Fixed-in gas tank. Those used to stick straight out of the side.
That's right.
That's been cut back in. That's actually out of a Camaro. Little things like that. The rear lights are Frenched in on it.
I saw that.
They used to sit right flush on the body. They poke out about here. So they're all Frenched in now and taken care of. There used to be a tail light right here
With the license
plate under it. That's gone. Took that off. Little things like that, like this bumper, it's not something that you would see if you didn't know, but this bumper is brought in 4 inches. It used to sit way out here, stock truck, so that was brought in. Little things like that all over the truck that you just don't, I don't think about them anymore.
Yeah, but it makes it what it is now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. It's got a rear gas tank in it. It still has the original side tank in it, but I've also got a tank in the rear back here because that 460 sucks up the gas.
Ooh, yeah.
So I had to put we'd go to Santa Barbara and everybody else would want to keep going and I'd have to stop and get gas and get back on the road. So I put another tank in it.
All right. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
What are we looking at here?
That's a 52 F1. It's got a GM subframe with a 350 700 R4. It's got a Ford 90-inch. The whole truck has been, the cab's been channeled on the frame 2.5 inches, and all the seams on the front end have been filled. Took two front ends, 2 top parts of the front grille to make the front end. So the top and bottom. The grill is a stock grill, but the top and bottom all blended in, and all the seams been filled. The hood's been pie cut and filled. Just a smooth running truck.
And how long have you had this truck?
4 years. The truck was built in Oakhurst, California by Ron Schuessler, who unfortunately passed away, and I wouldn't let his wife, who was an old neighbor, take the truck to Fresno to sell. I went up to Oakhurst and brought the truck home to keep it in the family.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's
What's under the hood?
it's running a 350. I usually don't open up the hood because it takes away from the body line because it's just with all the work put into it.
It's almost like the truck was built around the engine. It's so tight in there.
Yeah.
I have pictures when it was being built. The whole front end was one piece sitting on sawhorses as he put the front end together.
Right.
And then it was bolted on.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all.
Because normally
That's right. The
all
fender would.
seams,
That's right.
and the fender used to go straight down.
That's
on the
right.
front.
That's right. And was the cab chopped down at all?
No, the cab is not chopped. That's
The
why
cab is not chopped,
That's why
it's
this truck sits lower
Right.
than a truck that's chopped because of the cab and everything being channeled on the frame.
Okay. Okay. Now I get it. Is this a semi-modified interior here with the dash and
right. It's a stock gauges, but the dash was cut out and with a stereo and heater and then a dash undermount AC.
Right. Very nice.
Got to have AC for the wife and the heater.
Got to keep the wife happy.
Absolutely.
There
She
we
goes everywhere.
That's great.
We drive this all over. Is in there, but because of the way it's lowered, the pumpkin was bouncing off the bed, so I had to cut a hole. And I raised the bed up 2.5 inches, so it doesn't hit.
Right. I like that. So Ed, what are we looking at here? This must be your project. What is this?
1956 F100 custom cab. It's got it back in 2004. It's got a FE motor 390 with a C6 transmission. It's got a 4-core stock radiator in it. It's got the Volare front end clip which is old school with what they used to do back in the 70s for the front clips on these types of trucks, and they went to the Camaros and then the Mustang too. It's got a stock frame. It's got the steely rims on it. It's automatic, and the inside full of flyers. But you know, I chopped the original steering column down. I don't have anything real fancy. Everything I did myself. I rewired everything, and instrument panel, and you know, it's a driver. It's not a show truck. I don't expect to win anything. I just like to enjoy driving the truck. When I got it, I had a 1954 back in the early 70s when I started driving, and got rid of that and got a 65 Super Sport because I wanted to pick up the chicks, but that didn't work. So had a family and got this thing in 04, like I said, and when I first drove it home from Moreno Valley, I felt like I was 17 again. But if you move back to the back side, we extended the fenders out, which is kind of common in these old fat fender trucks. And the guy that did it was 70. He's 70 years old, and he added 3 inches of metal back here and extended out the fenders so they can cover up the wheels. Because I've got an 8.8 rear end Mustang rear end, which is kind of wide, and I didn't want to chop the axle, so I figured I'd extend out the fenders to get a little fatter look when you look from behind. So if you notice, the back fenders kind of match the front fenders in width.
Oh yeah.
And if there's a couple other trucks over here with a back,
right,
they stick out.
Yep.
Notice it, like right over here. There's a smaller fender here.
Right.
He's got a tighter axle. It's probably a 9-inch.
Yep, that's how I see it.
And
cool,
we
man.
we reversed the hangers in the back to drop down the back a few inches, and with the Volare front end, you can just crank down the torsion bar to get the right height in the front. And that's it. You know, it's just a driver. You know, nothing fancy, and
That's great.
like to piddle with it.
That's perfect, man. So what's the website? What's the club website again?
Club website is pickupslimited.com. www.pickupslimited.com. And as I mentioned earlier, the club's been around since 1968, always looking for new members. We have meetings the second Thursday of every month at Ken Grody Ford in Buena Park on Commonwealth and Beach Boulevard. It's open to the public. The gentleman next to me over here, Mark, he's got a 56, and he'll be coming out to the meeting, and he's probably hoping to be a new member joining the club.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Ed.